Good morning, this is the Sports Desk for December the 12th, 2016, and I'm joined here today by Michael. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Liam. It's an absolute pleasure to be here talking about sport.
Yes, it's been another good weekend in sport. It's been a few good weekends in sport.
Certainly has. I was fortunate enough to go to one of the ODIs, and Australia, as they usually do, clean up the New Zealanders when they come to Australia. When Australia go to New Zealand, they clean us up in the ODIs. So
yeah, pretty much. Must be something about the pitch.
It must be something about the pitch. The pitch.
Well, today we're going to go through the pay dispute between Patrick Dangerfield and the APA and the AFL.
Oh yes, they're certainly getting paid more than us, but they still want to talk about it. So anyway, we'll let them have their.
That's what I'm going to get to that.
Yes,
There's a bit of a rant coming on here.
Oh yes.
I'm going to talk about the captains, AFL captains for next year. I'm going to talk about everything cricket from the females Big Bash that started on the weekend.
And of course, the test coming up, we'll discuss all the teams and all the big news surrounding that one.
And the A-League with Barisha about to take over as the best all-time goal scorer of the A-League.
Wow, isn't that big news?
And all the NBA, NFL, and NBL. Did I say NBL?
NBL?
Yeah, I think we're sure. A lot of ends. Anything with ends here.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys at home know what that means, so that's good.
Firstly, we got CEO Clap Your Hands on here on the Sports Desk. That was CEO on the Sports Desk on SIN 90.7 here on the 12th of December 2016. It's almost Christmas time.
It is. The summer is well and truly in the air, and we were just saying off air, like usually when we're both on air together, it's sunny and quite warm outside.
Yes.
So we keep getting the combination right, I think, Liam.
Yes, because today at the moment it's 17 degrees with a top of 32.
Oh,
sorry, top of 29. I've read the wrong day. Top of 29.
Still bloody good weather. So all of you who have a pool out there, get the cricket bats out, go for some classic catches. You know what the call is.
They should get one of those pools, and everyone has these pools.
Yeah.
It's one of those blight ones. You get it, and you jump in it for a week and never use it again.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one. And then your dog gets in and completely pollutes the water, and you can never use it
Pretty
again.
much, yeah.
Full stop.
I think everyone who's alive has had that pool,
and subsequently kills literally all your grass as well.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
It's a beautiful invention.
It is great.
And that costs a lot of money. And let's start off talking about some mullah here.
Oh, money. I love the segue there, Liam. You're absolutely right. Well, yes, as we were saying before we, in our introduction, Paddy Dangerfield, of course, Geelong's Brownlow medalist, apparently is potentially thinking of doing a player strike in the pre-season competition. So this means all of the NAB Cup matches that are...
JLC, not NAB Cup anymore, it's JLC Challenge.
It's JLC Challenge?
I think it is. It's something community challenge. Give me 2 seconds.
Wow. Because they are playing in some pretty incredible locations this year. I know they're playing down in Ballarat because I think North Melbourne are going to try and get a few games up there. And the Doggies are playing there as well. Sorry, the Doggies are playing up in... Because it's one of their major sponsors, Ballarat.
JLT Community Challenge.
JLT Community Challenge, there you go. So no longer the NAB Cup, the JLT Community Challenge. Some of the players in the AFLPA, AFL Players Association, of course, are thinking of, striking during this pre-season competition. Why are they thinking of striking at this time?
Because they want equal pay of the revenue through the TV deal.
There we go.
Which I think if you're a mediocre player getting, I'll say $25,000 a year, which is how much the marquee women players are getting. And I understand why the women wanted to do a pay strike, because I think the most one of them were getting like $5,000 for a season. Dangerfield, who took a pay cut to go to Geelong, and I kind of ripped on Dangerfield last week because I've got a big thing against players getting homesick.
I
think they're a bit babyish.
I think so.
So he took a pay cut to go to Geelong, which is around $1 million. Gets a bonus for winning the Brownlow, gets an extra bit of good cash there.
Oh, definitely.
So, and I think he's the last person. It's As I'm currently unemployed, looking for work. SEN, please hire me.
Paddy Dangerfield, if you're listening,
But and they go, and one thing he said that I disagree with. He goes, the public's on our side. I don't think the public are though. I think
he definitely says the players are on their side.
Well,
all 850 of them, because of course, if you're a player, you do want a pay rise.
Yeah, I just don't think Tony, who works 9 to 5, earning probably $50,000 a year, would agree with someone who earns almost $1 million a year just to kick a ball around.
That's right. I think if you definitely add in those factors. Look, I know Paddy Dangerfield. you know, is one of those players who is quite vocal. You know, he does have a strong voice. He does like coming out and speaking, and you know, it's great that he is speaking on behalf of the players here. But yeah, him personally, he's not really a player that can kind of say to the AFL, hey, look at me, I've been disadvantaged significantly, because he hasn't been disadvantaged significantly. He did take a pay cut.
Well, I don't know if you have him on Instagram. If you have him on Instagram, he has a nice house.
He has a very nice house.
Well, actually, he's not the worst. If Buddy Franklin came out and talked about money,
now he's just like, who's going to pay for my pension at the end of my 7 years at the Swans? You know, like it's like maybe a player who, you know, is getting paid a lot less than the other ones, and he's decent, I don't know what the younger players coming into their club would get. I know a lot of them. For example, one of my mates, Daniel Venables, is heading off to WA because he's been picked up by the West Coast Eagles at pick 13. Congratulations to him. But you kind of wonder, though, those first year, second year players, they do have to bunk in with a lot of experienced players, which is great for their development. But you got to wonder how much money they're getting paid, and whether they would be sufficient enough with that money. And I suppose, yeah, giving it an equal amount to every single player obviously would be difficult, because some players obviously have greater skill than other ones.
And with the salary cap going up next year, which means more room, so Dangerfield will probably get a pay rise anyways from Geelong, due to the fact that he is, Dangerfield.
It's Patrick Dangerfield.
Speaking of Brownlow medalists, and before I get to that, I have nothing against Dangerfield.
Absolutely not.
I did when he left, because I'm not a big fan of players going home, especially when players like O'Meara, I still have a big grudge against O'Meara wanting to go to a premiership team.
And look, I might sound ridiculous, but I do love one club players. I respect someone, particularly at your end, Matthew Pavlich, someone who, through thick and thin, could have been offered any other club contract.
That's the thing.
He stayed, yeah.
Because we live in such a social media age, you know when a player's leaving.
You do.
Pavlich, in his book, I read Pavlich's book, he actually requested a trade to Port Adelaide. Wow. And when Freo said no, he actually went to Adelaide and spoke to Choco Williams. Jonathan Brown, which you heard on open mic, Brisbane through and through, had a meeting in 06 with Malthouse.
Gee, there you go.
Wait till Revolt retires. The Harden, probably, I say Revolt's the greatest ever St Kilda player.
Oh, yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt. He's probably, thought about leaving once or twice. It's just now that we live in an age where a player, posters, you put the letters in one of his Twitter posts, Geelong, he's off to Geelong.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But
and usually this news circulates earlier than than when the draft period or when the trade period even starts. So you're absolutely right. It's very hard to see loyalty, particularly a lot of players. For example, probably Paddy Dangerfield, who probably thought, not just coming home, but maybe at Geelong I've got a better opportunity to flag. I
think Dangerfield, it's a very weird one, because I do personally believe if Adelaide was based in Melbourne, he would stay.
He would stay, absolutely.
I don't think there was nothing against Adelaide as a club while he left.
No, and I think there was no animosity there when he left. I think he still is friends with a lot of those people, and I think he genuinely loved the club. And you looked how hard he played in that final for Adelaide.
Yeah, the one against Hawthorn.
Exactly, and it was really a one-man show. I mean, if that's not commitment, I don't know what is. So,
But what I was going to say about Brownlow medals, tomorrow, the two Brownlow medals, Trent Cotchin, which is weird to say, and Sam Mitchell, who, probably deserves the Brownlow medal.
That's right.
Both going to get rewarded with
So
Ian Stewart and Shane Crawford giving them the medals each.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Of course, it's not the first time that two Brownlow medalists have two players have received the Brownlow. Of course, you'd probably remember Nathan Buckley, Michael Voss and James Hird, and then of course Buckley.
I don't really remember. I was 0 at the time.
Yep. So you might have not had the most vivid memory of it, but I'd certainly of more recent time, probably the James Hird, Michael Voss one. So it does happen. It does happen.
It's just an interesting
circumstances. This is by far the first time that.
And I just forgot you were an Essendon supporter talking about your great Joe Watson.
Yes, of course. It still saddens me, but I think at the end of the day, he had to do it because he was going to get it taken off him anyway.
That's actually there's two things about the Essendon thing that I've actually realised lately that it's kind of annoying me. One, Watson's been looked at as a hero for giving up his Brownlow medal, which he would have got stripped off anyways.
That's right.
Two, Essendon finished last because their players got banned for cheating. So they were meant to finish last, but yet they still got the number 1 draft pick. So they got rewarded for being punished for cheating.
That's in a sense, yes, if you look at it like that. But Essendon have been harshly judged, and we've already had picks taken off us in the past by the AFL. So in a sense, it would have been a huge disadvantage going into this season, even though we do have our banned players coming back in, not having that young youth that could have been injected in those years that were banned, but that was a big punishment.
So,
and plus, if you've heard this, Essendon in a pretty bad financial way. Like they're not the best. They continually get fined by about 3 or 4 different bodies.
That would be fine in 10 years.
They'll be not fined, but fine in 10 years. They'll be fine. Yeah.
But I don't know how the disadvantage is having Darcy Parish, Zach Merritt, Dyson Heppel in the midfield. That seems like a really big disadvantage there.
Yeah, really bad.
Oh.
I'd
hate to have that midfield.
We're a really stiff club, that's for sure.
Throwing Goddard and Watson.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Essendon.
And then just quickly, your personal opinion: Can Joe Watson win the Brownlow this year? He won't be captain. He might be captain. You just never know. Can he do it? I mean, is he too old?
I think he's too old.
Probably. But, you just never know. It would be a really good stir, wouldn't it? Essendon having their number 1 draft pick. Joe Watson actually winning the Brownlow medal again.
Just give him the premiership, just for funsies here.
Yeah, let's just give it to them. Let's take off Brisbane Lions premierships in the mid-2000s and, let's give something back.
Anyways, speaking of Joe Watson and the captaincy, after this we're going to talk about the AFL captains because it's been a big week in captaincy here.
It's been huge, and a couple of deals as well that we're going to talk about with some players re-signing onto some clubs, some extensions, and also some new numbers for some clubs for some new players.
And one of those extensions is a new skipper of a club here on the sports desk. This is Guy Sebastian. That was Who's That Girl by Guy Sebastian here on the sports desk. Probably the only Australian Idol winner that's ever done anything.
Absolutely. And we're going from that to Who's That Captain?
Yes.
Not Who's That Girl, Who's That Captain? Some of these captains might be girls, I don't know. We'll find out this year, won't we? Captains are great. I mean, captains really are like the front bench of any kind of club. They're the benchmark, they're the hallmark for any club. You look at a club and you go, well, how successful are they? And you look at the captain.
Well,
it's the leader.
Yes. Best example of this is the semi-final, the Doggies versus the Hawks. The game started, the Doggies kicked the first 3 points of the game, and then Hawthorn kicked like 3 goals.
They did.
And the Doggies were dominating the entire game. It wasn't until Eastonwood took a mark and kicked their first goal.
I remember that.
Which steadied the ship.
It did.
And even though he's not the captain, but he, in history books, he's the second ever Bulldogs premiership captain. And we'll get to Eastonwood in the captaincy in a little bit. But we'll start off with the 3 officials.
Oh, yes.
So it all started on, I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes. It's been a big week.
When Tom Lynch, who's been probably the most advertised to be captain of the Gold Coast ever since Swallow went down. Yeah. I know it was one point it was Swallow because he was such a good player. Then O'Meara, well, look at that, what turned out.
I think in recent times, I certainly think in the last year particularly, Tom Lynch has really been flagged as that
captain. He's pretty much
captained
them for the last 2 years.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah.
Then the one who came out of nowhere, Stephen May.
Yeah. Sounds like the guy from Top Gear. But certainly doesn't play like him. Stephen May, you kind of look at him, and it is a surprise, not just because we didn't know too much about him, but he has been suspended a few times for some pretty crude bumps, and of course you do remember that bump. And look, we don't know how sincere players are when they do a bump, but you do think there's some sort of kind of regret and remorse there about what he did, and I think there is. I genuinely think there is. But yeah, you got to question yourself. You got to question and go, well, look, he's a hard player, which is good. It's a good captaincy trait. But does he play by the rules? That's another question we got to ask.
I think I don't know. I watched the interview when they both spoke. I know it's funny how Rodney Eves like, I don't believe in co-captaincy, but co-captains.
There you go. Exactly. Like he had.
I think it's more of a I don't believe in co-captains. Wink.
Yeah. Well, he had Matty Boyd under his captaincy wing for a very, very long time. So this is probably a bit different for Rocket, but it's a new generation. So
but, I don't know. I just thought, especially I know they say Tom Lynch is a quiet person, but he seems like a very demanding leader. I see a lot of Nick Revolt with Tom Lynch. I think in years to come, how St Kilda's Nick Revolt St Kilda, Pavlich is was Fremantle, Brown was Brisbane.
That's right.
Tom Lynch will be Gold Coast.
That's right. I really see him as one of those players, and no question, in the next couple of years, he will probably go down as a really good Coleman medalist. I think he can win it. No, without a doubt. If he gets a consistent season under his belt, and he's playing for his team. And one game stands out for me particularly. You remember that draw? I think Gold Coast had with West Coast
when he thought they were 5 points down.
That's right. But he practically brought them back into that game. So he does have these traits, not only as a captain, but as a leader.
Well, he kicked that goal to draw the game, which he thought was to win the game. Then next year he had a shot from like the boundary, like the worst place after the siren. It was looking good for most of the kick.
It was. That was against Melbourne, wasn't it? Yeah. So
which is kind of a Jack Watts stole that game.
That's right. But Tom Lynch, I think he's going to be a good player, and you do see Nick Riewoldt run out onto the banner. He's got this really bobby blonde hair, and he always is an incredible sprinter. And so I can just picture Tom Lynch running out there with his blonde hair, tall, lanky bloke, and
And he has his hands of glue. It's just
he does. He really drops a mark, and he does look a lot like their really pathetic mascot. He does look a lot like that little blonde kid with the glasses.
No, they have some. They have the ray.
They have an actual sun now, do they?
No, yeah, it's a sun ray.
I think when they started, they had like a blonde kid. So maybe it's just like the Gold Coast stereotype.
See, I always wonder. Speaking of Gold Coast, I wonder what the premiership poster would look like because it wouldn't be a sun.
You never know.
So, but yeah, sorry, Stephen May is the fifth Indigenous captain in AFL history.
Wow.
Polly Farmer was the first. Then you got Wanganeen, who was the first ever captain.
Indigenous. So Tom Lynch is...
No, Stephen May.
Oh, Stephen May.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did not know that.
Gavin Wanganeen was the inaugural captain of the AFLPA team. Then you got Michael Long. Oh, sorry, six. Michael Long, who captained Essendon in 99.
Yes.
Chris Johnson, who captained Brisbane. Adam Goods.
Yes.
And there you got Stephen May.
That's just unbelievable.
Which is good to see. After the issues, which I was saying to you during the song, with Fremantle and their Indigenous players, it's good to see an Indigenous player become captain of the club.
That's right.
Because you go over to Perth and you got Bernal, Johnson and Shane Yarran, whose career might be absolutely over. And all these Indigenous players, and Freo has the most Indigenous players on their list of any club. I think the equal most of all time.
Wow.
On the list. So it's good to see that, especially in the Indigenous culture. Go over to North Melbourne.
Now, of course, a brand new era at North Melbourne. They've cleared the pantry practically.
New logo. Stop jumpers around.
Personal opinion on the new logo? Do you like it?
It is terrible.
It's terrible as well. I completely agree
actually
with that.
a guy got a tattoo of the new logo, and the problem is the way he did it. It looks like the North Melbourne kangaroo has boobs. the way it's shaped, it looks like it's got boobs coming out. I'm like, you should look at that again. And they've swapped the jumpers around, so instead of being white and blue, they're blue and white.
Yeah, that's strange. I mean, they were like that when they were playing during the 90s and stuff.
Their away jumpers, their home one now, so it's.
Oh, that's confusing. I've always been against their stripes, and they did. Remember that time they did that really light blue?
The Argentina stripes, yes.
No,
please.
If they bring that back, I am no.
So actually, before we get to North Melbourne, speaking of dreadful jumpers, I walked past the Bulldogs training one for next year. Oh. It is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Training jumper.
Yeah.
Good thing it's never going to be on a proper ground.
It is terrible. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So
the new captain.
Ever since 2012, when that successful plan Melbourne had when they put Trent Grove and Grimes as captain, pure successful. Everyone remembers that. That same time was when they were talking about Zeeble becoming captain of North Melbourne. And there's a story about Jackie Zeeble, the skipper of North Melbourne. Finally,
the brand new skipper. Yes.
I have spoiled Jack Zeeble in a marking contest.
Wow.
Going down to my Wintervale Falcons days in the under 15s, Sam Wright and Jack Zeeble came down. It was like a kick-to-kick thing.
Oh, yes.
And I think one was on one team, one was on the other. And the kick to the Zeeble, he probably let me, but I spoiled it. So I spoiled I have spoiled the North Melbourne captain.
You have spoiled the North Melbourne captain. Everyone out there, Liam has spoiled the North Melbourne captain. So it gives hope to any of those youngsters
Liam
out
1, there. Zeeble 0. So
That's right. You officially have the wood over Jack Zeeble.
I do.
Till that day, he's going to have nightmares about that.
He does, and I don't know how he's going to captain. I don't know how he's going to captain North Melbourne. I'm thinking I got spoiled by a 15-year-old.
But you see, you're the motivation now. He never wants to get spoiled again by a Fremantle supporter, or any Fremantle player in that regard. But yeah, no, Jack Zeeble, he's always been a very tough player, and we do question some of his heroics because he does go in there very tough, and he's knocked over players quite severely before.
Yeah.
So him and May are both very, very tough players. So they are clearly going down that line. But I think he's a great player, and he's always been kind of said that there always been whispers that he would be captain one day.
Every season was Zeeble could take over. I think he'll do a good job.
I think he'll do a good job.
I don't think he'll be a premiership captain, but I don't think North Melbourne's close to a premiership anytime soon.
That's right.
I said that about I had the Doggies last in 2015, so
there you go.
I could be wrong.
The way things change, it's quite an incredible competition. But no, he'll be good.
The next new captain is one of those captains where you don't think about it, but when you get released, you think there's no other man for the job.
No.
Big Joshy Kennedy for Sydney.
Very happy to see this. Not Stutter Josh, not the one from West Coast. This is Sydney's Josh, and I'm very happy to see this. We were saying off air, he single-handedly almost brought Sydney. Their fourth premiership or whichever one it is. All right. Yes.
Let's cut him some slack.
Yeah. They're actually not that bad, guys. But no. He was just unbelievable. He's a born leader. He rarely gets below 30 disposals. He's just an amazing player. So now they scrapped the two co-captains,
which is the first time since 05 where Stuart Maxfield from 03 to 05 was the captain.
You go.
He played the first 6 games of 05 and then had relationship issues. Stood down as captain. Stood down as a player pretty much. And that's where Hall, Bolton, and Kirk became captain. And legend has it, Barry Hall is the premiership captain of Sydney. But Josh Kennedy's been their best player in all 3 of their grand finals of 12, 14, and 16. So
he certainly has.
I'm actually against. I'm against a lot of things. For some reason, I like footy. I'm against players from other club captaining. I wasn't a big fan of Judd coming across. And straight away captain Carlton.
That's right.
I think Joshy Kennedy is a perfect fit. He played 12 games, barely a Hawthorn player.
That's right. He's been at Sydney long enough to be really instilled in that Bloods culture.
It's the same thing with I think Taylor Adams would be the next captain of Collingwood, and he played a whole 5 games at GWS.
Exactly. They did start their careers there, but they've committed to that club. You don't see them leaving, so good on Josh Kennedy.
I'm talking about more captain news now. There was talk yesterday that Hodge might step down as part of the whole clearing out Hawthorn. The issue is who could step. I know they spoke about Roughhead.
Yeah,
but I think he's got too much of an issue, and he's 30, so I don't think they want a 30-year-old captain in the club.
That's right. I kind of look at the youngsters, and I kind of question just about how ready they are. And I'm not exactly sure how many have huge leadership qualities. You do look to that older, more experienced group. Particularly, I don't know, Sean Burgoyne. I don't know how
he's 35,
but he's pretty old as well. So you got to ask.
There's 2 players that come to my mind. There is Liam Shield, who's always been tipped to be the next captain.
Yep.
And the next player I've got is Isaac Smith.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think. Yeah. Isaac Smith would be pretty good.
Because the only issue with Liam Shield, he's not really explosive. I remember, we were talking about this during the debate, the 2013 grand final, the best day of my life. It was 10 points, and I think Smith marked it from 60 and kicked the goal.
The best and worst day of your life. But yes.
Kicked the goal from outside 60, and it's pretty much that was the game over. I think that's who you need as a captain.
Yeah, someone who could really change it.
I think he got a bit screwed over in the 2015 Norm Smith medalist.
Yes, I think he might have done.
The good old he was delicious Cirioli.
Yes, it's delicious. But no, Isaac Smith's a great player. Josh Gibson as well in the back line. He's
30. I think he's in his final year as well. That's the issue.
You reckon? Oh, yeah.
32.
Yeah. He's getting on a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. The way that I kind of look at their list and I go, I think Luke Hodge might have to stay another year, might have to do the captaincy again.
I think maybe Tom Mitchell or O'Meara. If O'Meara can get his knee right, he's probably poised to be a captain down the line. And
that's right.
Tom Mitchell.
I think Hodge would be pretty well regarded as another year of the captaincy. I think he's good.
So before we go on about the Essendon captain, talking about re-signing Josh Kennedy, one of the big free agents, the skipper from Sydney, also signed in 2020.
You would hope so, being the new captain.
Which is actually
that's great.
Which might go along to one of my other points. Freo, in my opinion, I think Freo could be giving Fife the captaincy for next year. Just to sweeten the deal, even though they do the players voting, the players and coach stuff.
Pav certainly can't next season. That is way out of the question.
Because I know Mundy was captain last year.
He was good,
but I don't think he. I'm not a big fan of only one year-long captain.
Yeah, no.
But I just don't know. I think we could get rid of Mundy as captain and give Fife the job. But I think Freo's been very delayed. As a Docker supporter, I don't know if people know that. But
just so you guys can get a visual, he is wearing just about everything purple in this. He's practically painted the whole studio.
I have Freo socks on. Not even kidding.
And oh my god, he has too, and it does say Fremantle on them, ladies and gentlemen. So if you don't believe him, and his phone case is also purple as well.
It's more pinkish.
It's more pinkish. Let's say it's been through the laundry few too many times, but no. We have a huge Freo supporter there. Let's not deny that.
Yes, but
yes. No. Fife. Yeah, you've been delayed about this decision.
I don't think they have been delayed for a bit. I think after 2013, that's when Mundy should have become captain.
Yeah.
And around this year is when he should have given it off to Fife.
And look, I have nothing. I think Pavlich was just a sensational captain, but he just looked so distraught after that grand final. You kind of just needed a new injection to kind of keep going, and you could just tell after that grand final, just even those finals that you were playing, they just
I think that
weren't
2015. I think that 2015 loss killed him the most.
Yeah, I think so. That hurt.
Now back to my team, to your team,
to my team. Yeah, look, Brendan Goddard.
He was a captain.
He won't stay as captain.
He was there.
But I look at the one game that Zach Merritt was captain during the Gold Coast Sun game, and then the second one he was with the Carlton game. He was sensational. I think he's got a lot of talent. This kid, he scored, I think, either the equal or the highest as a young Essendon player has ever in a Brownlow count. So he's a talent. We all know that.
He was robbed from All-Australian.
I think he was as well. And even your man, Lachie Neal, I think both of those players extremely good candidates for captaincy and great players last season.
I think Lachie Neal and Zach Merritt should create their own All-Australian
I think so. The captain, of course, Hayden Ballantyne. No, let's not go into that.
Well, he's actually All-Australian. He's been an All-Australian, Ballantyne, surprisingly enough.
Unbelievable.
But I think two things I think might have... Three things. I think Watson should go again, which I think would be a wrong idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Heppel will go solo, which I think is the correct idea.
I think that's going to happen.
Or Heppel and Watson will go co.
Yeah, I think the middle option there. I think Heppel has captained before. He's done an extremely good job. He's well spoken. He's a great leader. Really, really great bloke. I've met him before. He's outstanding.
He seems like a genuine, nice guy.
A bit of a I reckon But he's a great player, and I think he'd lead the club very well.
Speaking about nice guys, this is I quote. This guy is nice even for a normal guy. So, how people could be nice for a footballer.
Yeah.
But he's nice, Richard. He's like the nicest guy even for a general guy. Easton Wood. Premiership 1 and 2.
Very, very humble man, by the way.
Well, he's 1 and 2, which is the Premiership captain of the Western Bulldogs. Will he go on and captain the club? I'm pretty sure it's up to Beveridge, Murphy, and Wood. If he wants to. But you can't win a premiership as a captain and get thrown to the side. Treadway in 2005 wasn't captain of Port, and he said he was filthy.
Yeah.
I know Keith Greb became captain again after he missed out in the 77 premiership.
Yep.
But I don't.
There's something that tells me that being the humble guy that Easton Wood is, I think he would be more than happy to see, and I think the whole club would be more than happy to see Robert come back. And at the end of the day, it is Murphy's decision whether he wants to be the captain, whether he can do it. But I think the Bulldogs now have this beautiful luxury that if Robert does go down again or may retire next season, it gives Easton Wood the opportunity to do the captaincy again because we know how good he is at that captaincy role.
We know they have Bontempelli rating, and he's the youngest ever captain to win a game.
He is
Bontempelli, so he's there. He's got that captain's locker already ready for him.
We know in a couple of years' time, that Brownlow will be around his neck. We
definitely.
Just know that. Yep.
I think I think of a player. I think Toby Green from GWS could have a premiership under his Brownlow under his belt as well.
Yeah, very underrated player.
Just put that in the betting books there.
There we go. Everyone listen to that. Put that in your almanac.
2 more captaincy because there's a lot of captaincies at the moment.
Yes.
Tom Rockcliffe is likely to be stripped. I think that's been going since
I think so. I think Chris Fagan wants to see change, and I think that might happen.
I think 2 players come. I think Rich is a disappointment.
Yeah, I think he didn't have a good season this season.
He hasn't had a good. I'm not going to say he hasn't had a good career. He's had an okay career.
Rising star.
He should have been. He probably should have been captain. He was the next Michael Voss.
Yeah, I really like Rich.
But I don't think he's got tagged and hasn't really been able to break it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's probably thinking to himself he could have been drafted because he was going to be free. He was going to draft Stephen Hill or Rich. And they chose Hill.
That's right.
Bit disappointing for him.
But you were talking off air. Hugh McCluggage in future does look like captaincy material.
I think I can see a crown on Hugh McClugage's head. Brisbane are giving him everything just so he could stay.
That's right.
But I think Dane Zorko, back-to-back best and fairest winner. Even though
I think he'd be great.
Even though the entire list won the best and fairest in 2015, but they do say Dane Beans, but he's played a whole 5 games.
Yeah, no. You'd have to give him more time at the club.
I think
Zorko would be fantastic.
He's come under the last few years.
Hasn't he? He's prolific. He's prolific.
He's the reason why Brisbane didn't win the Wooden Spoon last year.
And he's a Dane, which pretty much means he's a gun.
And I think I do think Rockcliffe is probably still Brisbane's best player. But I do agree that I don't think he's a captain.
No. He's don't get me wrong. He's an absolute gun. But as a captain, I'd like to see what Zorko can do. I'd be convinced that he could do a good job.
And the final captaincy, St Kilda's yet because Beaver did step down.
Yep,
and the 2 big names. Well, there's 3. There's a smoky in this. You've got Jack Stevens, who I
Jack
think is
Stevens.
the public.
I think he's the front runner.
I think he's the public front runner.
I think so.
But I think the St Kilda front runner is Jared Gary.
Yes. The emergency for several grand finals.
Who's in my list of captains you don't know of.
Yeah.
So I think Chris Johnson, when he was captain of Richmond, was one.
Yep.
And Shannon Hearn.
Shanahan. Yep.
Who knew Shanahan until he was captain? And I like Shanahan. I love his boldingness.
Yes.
He's a very bold player, if you know what I mean.
He does, and he certainly balls with a lot of grace as well, which is even better.
And once he hands over to Luke Shuey in a few years' time, Shuey will start going bold.
Shuey, get the chrome dome as well.
And I think the smoky in this is Maverick Weller.
Maverick Weller, the Maverick.
Yes.
That's why he's a smoky.
Oh, he'll be Top Gun, you know.
Maverick.
That'll be the article.
Dead-eye dick.
That'll be the article. Maverick is Top Gun.
Maverick is Top Gun. There you go. You've already written the article right there.
But how good would it be someone who got delisted by the Gold Coast Suns to get picked up by St Kilda and become captain?
What a story. And I'll tell you what, his brother, Lockie Weller.
What a good-looking bloke. I'm just saying that. He is a phenomenal looking bloke.
I'm trying to grow my hair like him, and I don't know how he does it. Bloody hell.
He's got him and O'Meara has a career in modelling after they finish.
Tell you what, there's some genuine guns in that family. I got to say this. The firearms are at the ready right there.
Oh yeah, and they're both very humble players as well.
Very humble players.
Good to see.
And Maverick had a great season this season, it wouldn't surprise me. But that's a good smoky.
And last thing, we'll talk about contracts. We spoke about Kennedy, which takes one of the big names off the free agency table, which leads probably at least four. Sarakis, who is I wouldn't say the massive name. Rockcliffe, who is a big name.
Yep.
Who will be good for any club. Martin and Fife. The only one I can honestly see 100% leaving is Dustin Martin. Yeah.
To be honest with you, every season that goes by, there's always whispers, and he meets with other clubs during the pre-season.
Oh, yeah, he toured GWS a few years ago.
Exactly. He got very close to signing with Essendon as well. I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah, he got very close.
I just don't think Fife, as much as there's always talk that Fife might leave, I think he has too much in WA to leave. He might go to West Coast.
Some whispers Carlton next season?
I think the biggest whisper is St Kilda.
Yep. St Kilda.
Hawthorn, is always just... You know when you think someone's looking at you?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Hawthorn.
Yep. They always give you a little gaze. No, they always seem to find ways to get good players.
Zarakis, Rockcliffe, Fife, or Martin. One of them will end up at Hawthorn next year.
Yep, that wouldn't surprise me.
Without a doubt.
I would like to say Zaharakis is going to be committed to Essendon, but it really depends how he plays this season, where they play him, and how highly they value him. But I love him.
Well, he could have been filthy with not giving the captaincy this year.
Yeah, well, he could well be, and that might kind of encourage him to go somewhere else.
They could get Five. That's all we got about footy. It's been a good footy show at the moment.
It certainly has.
We'll go to a song. We'll talk about some cricket here.
Some cricket on the way back.
Some Jessica Marboy here on
we go.
the Sport Desk. That was Burn by Jessica Marboy. It is 47 minutes past 9.
Talking about burn, God, it's a warm day today, I've got to say. For all of you that are out there in Melbourne, top of 29 today. And with, asphalt and whatnot, it's probably going to get to 30, 31. So, yeah, if you've got some togs, make sure you put them on, head down to the beaches and, get involved.
Let's talk about some burner or scorcher. David Warner.
David Warner, isn't he burning it up?
Oh.
We're killing it with the segues, so can I just say,
wow. This is good puns. I love the puns here.
I love it. Top Gun, Maverick Weller, and now...
it's beautiful to see.
And for all those who have been watching David Warner on their OLED TVs during the summer, you wouldn't be disappointed, particularly in the ODIs.
This is absolutely nice, Gary, at the moment.
Oh, nice, Gary. Nice, Davey. I'm just looking forward to the next test in the cricket, simply because Matty Wade is playing.
And every time Nathan Lyon bowls, nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary. Love it, Gary. Let's get another scalp here, boys. He's a big chirper. But we should be talking first and foremost. The Aussies have done a very, very clean sweep in the Hadley Chapel Trophy. I know the New Zealanders don't like it being called the Chapel Trophy because, of course, the underarm bowling controversy, but there was none of that. It was a 3-0 victory to the Aussies. I was fortunate enough to go to the ODI on, I think it was Friday at the MCG. Not the biggest crowd. The weather was a little bit so-so, but it was a great game. 20,000 got down though, so still not the worst.
Well, see, the MCG, because it's such a big stadium, you could get 40,000 and it looks empty.
The whole upper tier was not taken, but pretty much the whole bottom tier was.
But at the end of it, apart from Australia's batting performance was pretty average. Warner's going 156.
Next
What a
best
legend.
scorer was Travis Head, 37 off about 70 deliveries.
Yeah.
But that was an important innings, we must add, because that was the anchor, and while at the other end, David Warner was just playing every single shot under the sun.
Well, in all formats, actually, they put it up that Smith and Warner both have scored the most centuries.
They have.
Equal, they've scored 28% of our runs this year.
Wow.
Both have scored 20%.
Wow.
So good
Captain
for them.
and vice-captain.
Yes.
Very good choices by the looks of it.
With Warner getting 156 after getting run out, we were 8 for 264, which is a okay. I thought New Zealand could catch us.
That's what I thought.
But they were all out for 147, so it must have been you there, but it must have been a very good bowling pitch.
Yeah, to be honest with you, at one stage, as you were saying, they were about 1 for 70, and at that stage, you had Kane Williamson and Martin Guptill doing very nicely. Martin Guptill, bear in mind, guys, and it should be mentioned, he had a very good series. He made that ton and got out quite soon after that, so couldn't quite get him across the line, but still an incredible batsman. Yeah, it looked like they were gonna go on and make the runs quite easily. Kane Williamson's such a good placer of the ball. You just thought they were gonna run over the top. But Travis Head got a couple of scalps here and there, just as a bit of off spin. And Mitchell Starc, as we all know, he's just such a great bowler of that full delivery that kind of just swings back in and
Him
hits
and
the off
Hazelwood,
stump.
him and Hazelwood are just a good. They were a dream pairing. I love him and Hazelwood together.
That's great. It's the next McGrath Lee or the McGrath Clark. It's a great combination, a great bowling combination. Yeah. So it was a great win by the Australians. New Zealand couldn't even make the same amount of runs that David Warner did. So that's big by the Aussies.
And on Thursday we start our first test, which is the day night in the Gabba.
Very exciting. First
Pakistan.
day night test at the Gabba, so that's going to be exciting.
Pakistan got over the CX1 Australian team quite easily.
Quite easily. Look, the CX1 team, quite inexperienced, quite young. They still managed to bowl out Pakistan for 200 though, which kind of leaves a bit of questions open for just how well Pakistan are going to go.
Yeah, it would have been a very worrying sign if they lost.
Exactly.
Well, they lost their 2 tests in New Zealand, and they never played a day-night test. So I do think that Australian could get over them, especially in the first one.
I just a warning out there, Mitchell Starc. I think he can blow this test open. I just think he's swinging deliveries, particularly when that twilight zone sign comes on with the pink ball. There could be some concern there.
I think they should get ready for a Clarkie, get ready for a broken something arm.
That's right. But taking nothing away from Pakistan. They have some incredible fast bowlers right now.
They are one of the best test teams in the world.
They are, and they're only just behind us, but they are equal on the ranks. I think we're 4th, they're 5th. So look out for Pakistan.
Before we go to a quick song, we're going to talk about the Women's Big Bash started this week.
Yes, very good indeed. And in fact, we often talk about players kind of coming to their own in the series. Sophie Monalex has emerged as a team queen, opening on the weekend for the Women's Big Bash League. She's been tipped for an international honours by her captain, which it's a good way to impress the captain. And she took 4 for 18 against the Strikers and only restricted them to 128, chasing about 160 in that game. So good on her. It's a really good league. This was the first weekend of it. Went pretty successfully and pretty exciting game. So I think that's going to be able to stay. I think I watched some of it last season and it's really good. So
something good. It's also good to see it's on Facebook Live. They Facebook Live the game.
Oh wow.
So
I like that.
I know it's hard, especially women's sport, to get the airtime. Like I think that everyone's trying now. Like the A-League's trying. Look at this doubleheader. I think that's a good way to start, especially with doubleheads before you break them off by themselves. And this, Facebook Live gives people to watch.
Unbelievable.
And it was a good game.
And just before we go to air, it's worth mentioning currently the 4th test is happening between India and England. India made 431 after England in their first innings made 400. England are currently 6 for 182 stumps on day 4. Virat Kohli, just in case some of you are wondering how he's going, he made a double ton. So that is his 3rd for the calendar year. And he goes right up there with the likes of Ricky Ponting, Brendan McCallum and Don Bradman, who all made the most 200s in tests in a calendar year. But Michael Clark still holds the record with, of course, his amazing 2012 with 4. But still an incredible effort by Virat Kohli.
Was 2012 the year he scored the 300?
It was. And he still managed to score most 200s in that test calendar year.
I remember that was a beautiful game. He made that look easy.
He made it so easy. And considering India were bowling players like Virender Sehwag, you knew they were in a fair bit of dog done. But just quickly with Virat Kohli, he's also got one of the highest batting averages as Test captain, with a minimum of 200 runs. Don Bradman, only one better than him. He played 24 matches, 38 innings, 3,147 runs. Just an absolute gun.
I heard Don Bradman was an okay player. I just heard whispers that he was
okay.
okay.
He was okay. He
had an okay batting average as well.
Notable name, and at the time he had an average as captain of 101.5. So pretty average. But Virat Kohli, 21 matches, 34 innings, 2,073 runs, and an average of 66. Smith does have an average of 68, but only made 1,700. I should only say only, but still 1,771 runs in this calendar year. So he doesn't quite match it up there with the best, but still very good effort. So well done, Virat Kohli.
Speaking of Smith, he might only get nose surgery after all those dives.
Oh, I tell you what, yes.
Super catches.
I tell you. Catch of summer. The KFC Classic Catch is going to be busy with him.
We're going to go to a song and we're going to go talk about the A-League and wrap up here on the Sports Desk. That was Reece Maston here on the Sports Desk, another Australian icon who really didn't make it
wants hookups, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Clearly just demanding too much. Just shut up and kiss me. I mean, just
aggressive.
There is a polite way of saying it.
Yeah.
Please,
may you stick your tongue down my throat?
That's very polite.
I know.
It seems to work for you. It's all right.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to some of our big stories. The A-League. Sydney still are on top of the A-League ladder. They've had a really great season.
Yes, and Melbourne
7
City
wins,
let one slip.
but haven't lost a game yet, Sydney.
They've drew the last 3, though.
Drew the last 3. So I think last time I was on the show, they had just drawn their first game. They had broken their good run with the Brisbane Roar, setting a bit of an upset there. But so they're still on the top of the A-League ladder. What's some of the results from the weekend?
Some of the results of the weekend.
Now, of course, Brisbane Roar was probably the most notable one.
Absolutely killed Adelaide.
Absolutely killed Adelaide, which is kind of been the trend of this season. Because you look at Adelaide, they're right on the bottom of the ladder. They're the salad rollers this year, and they've only been able to scrape 1 victory, 3 draws and 6 losses, and definitely no action for them. It's a huge fall from grace, isn't it, for Adelaide?
Yeah, and I'm spoken to another team. The 2 grand finalists from last year got smashed this weekend. Brett Barisha scored 3 goals in their 3-0 win over the West Sydney Wanderers, which brings him up to 89 A-League goals, which is 1 away from Archie Thompson's 90. So
wow, that's big.
Give a few weeks, and Brett Barisha will be the all-time A-League goal scorer. So good for him.
Is he by chance in contention for Australia's national team, or is he
might be.
Player?
He's getting Australian citizenship. He's applying for one soon.
Oh, fingers crossed. That would be a big inclusion for 2018 if we make it.
Yeah, which is looking very, very, very not likely.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. The Caltex Socceroos just don't seem to be doing it.
No, maybe we'll just change the names.
Honestly, you'd think we would have more fuel, being a Caltex Socceroos. We're killing it today. I've got to say, we're killing it.
I saw that one come to you.
You did, didn't you?
Yes.
You saw it. You saw it.
You were so happy with that one.
He's bringing a fuel joke in here, isn't he? Yeah. It was coming. But not light a match.
Melbourne City, who drew with Sydney 1-1, they let one slip. They had the lead, and they just, really just couldn't get it away.
I am liking Melbourne City this year, though. I mean, once they get Tim Cahill back from his stint over with the Caltex Socceroos,
they don't play again too much.
They don't play again too much. So,
so they got time to refuel.
That's right. There we go. I think they might have to, because no longer peak oil. That's for sure. Yes.
Yes, but pretty much Central Coast, Adelaide, they're all pretty much where they've been. They're not doing well.
Right.
I think it's 4 teams at the moment. Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney are the 4 teams in contention.
Yep.
I know it's only early stages, but at the moment, that's the 4 teams.
The New Zealander teams don't do too well in the A-League, do they?
No, not at the moment.
Yes. It's kind of like with our netball, we're kind of just not favoured when it comes to the New Zealanders. It's either one or the other. So the A-League looks like it's getting that time of the year where things start heating up just a little bit. The dream suddenly becomes alive, and they go, "Oh crap, we got to kind of get into the finals."
Yes, and Melbourne Wellington still have a game in hand due to the earthquake a few weeks ago.
Oh yes, of course. Yep.
So Melbourne, if they, they're only a point behind Melbourne City. So we could see a replay of the year before's grand final.
Oh yes, of course.
And I think it will be the first time a team's played it off in the grand final 3 times.
Wow.
If they do. But that's all the time we have for, and this is the last sports desk of 2016. Well, last Monday sports desk of 2016.
Wow. Yes, of course. You can join us on Friday for the very, very, very final episode. But it is the final episode for Liam and I. Liam, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, I love having you on.
It's been a pleasure. And yes, ladies and gentlemen out there who are listening every Friday up until maybe about mid-year. Sorry I haven't been on. I've been doing the weekly buffet on Wednesdays, but it's always great to come back to the sport desk. My very first show on Sin. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a great season, and I have no doubt we'll both be back next season and talking more sports.
I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is the Sport Desk on Sin 90.7.